Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Jamie.
How's it going?
Happy Monday.
Should we talk about the elephant in the room?
What's that?
You're wearing jeans.
I am wearing jeans. Yeah, it's Trevor's birthday today, and we decided to...
Happy birthday, Trevor.
Actually, no, it was not today. It was on Saturday.
Okay.
But we try to celebrate birthdays here as much as we can, and
Makes
so
sense.
in honor of Trevor, we're all dressing like him today. And he likes wearing jeans and black and hats, and so I'm doing my best to impersonate Trevor.
Plot twist, I am too. And I've seen him in this very
Same dress. That must have been awkward. Showed up at the party wearing the same thing. Wow.
I hope he listens to this.
I don't think he does. Episode 27.
Ooh.
We were talking just before this about how it's kind of funny, a little behind the scenes action.
Yeah.
So kind of funny that before we start recording, we don't want to like spoil anything. So
Yeah.
there's kind of limited things we can talk about.
Yeah.
So we talk about the things that we don't want to talk about on the podcast,
Totally.
anything that's too personal.
Yeah.
Which we do try to get pretty personal on here. But there's certain things, maybe names that we don't want to mention on the
Correct.
podcast. And then, but beyond that, we're kind of limited on what we can talk about beforehand.
Yeah.
And then after we record, we've kind of talked about everything already. So it's like, what more do we have to talk about?
So people, what you hear is who we are.
Yeah.
And you're not missing much.
We're not missing
outside
much
of that.
So we skipped last week.
Yeah.
Sorry for that. That was
that's fine.
my bad.
No, you
But
had a lot going on.
We have a lot to catch up on though.
Yeah.
For this week.
We've got 2 weekends.
2 weekends.
Do you want to go weekend by weekend, day
Sure.
by day?
Let's do that.
Start with
We're going 6 back and forth. Friday, Saturday. Let's just do one weekend at a time. How's
Let's
that?
do
Okay, cool. How was your weekend 2 weekends ago?
It's great. I would love one of these days I'm gonna have nothing to talk about for my weekend.
Yeah.
There's just
That's kind of me. I don't know. My idea of nothing to talk. I feel like the last couple weekends have been pretty slow. I was pretty sick 2 weekends ago.
That's
so
right.
it was
That's
I don't
right.
want to steal your thunder. You go first.
Okay, yeah.
Two-
We don't want to give too much away. Okay, so last Friday we went and saw Jim Gaffigan
Right.
up in Seattle.
Comedian, right?
He's a comedian,
Okay.
correct, actor. And we went to a restaurant called Bombo beforehand. We went with a couple other friends. And so it was a really nice, fun evening, dinner
Which neighborhood
first.
were you in?
So we were at the Paramount Theater.
Okay, so downtown. Kind
Yep.
of. Okay.
And Bombo was literally right across the street in the Seattle Conference Center.
Cool. Oh, the new one?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Great little Italian restaurant, really good.
Nice.
Jim Gaffigan was good. I feel like, have you ever heard any of his stuff?
No.
Okay.
Maybe I have, but I don't remember.
I feel like his early stuff, I remember dying laughing at, and seeing him live was great, but it was a little bit yeah, that seems like him. It was it was funny, but it wasn't I wasn't dying laughing
Okay.
and stuff, but it was still an enjoyable.
You're a little bit, you know what to expect with him, maybe.
His delivery and his punchlines, I was like, oh yeah, nothing too surprising.
Yeah, been there, done that.
So, I've heard this similar.
Classic Jim Gaffigan.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic JG. And then, okay.
JG. I had a friend in college named Jessica Gilmore, and we called her JG.
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 Thought I just made that up. Okay. And then Saturday, my friends Carrie and Shannon came over. We, every once in a while, try to get together early on Saturday mornings
Nice.
and do a walk and then a sauna session.
Yep.
Great start to the day.
We can't have an episode of the podcast without the sauna that you mentioned.
It's gonna be a thing. And I was thinking, you should have come and tried it. Your month's going to be over before we know it. That could have been
somewhere new.
thing.
Yeah.
Maybe we still have time.
Brian was holding me accountable yesterday to this challenge because we were going to go to a bagel place, and I haven't been to this bagel place before, but I've been to a different location of this bagel place, and he's like, that doesn't count.
I feel like you're saying bagel.
Bagel. That's one of those words I do say a little weird.
Bagel.
Bagel. How do you say it?
I'm saying it. I'm saying bagel.
Bagel.
You're like bagel. Like B-E.
Bagel. Bagel?
Okay.
I don't know. I don't hear a difference.
It's like you have a little Midwestern accent or something.
I might. Yeah, bagel.
That tracks.
Bagel.
From here.
A TW accent.
And we digress. Back to Saturday. So Carrie and Shannon came over. We did our walk.
Carrie of Carrie and Blue.
Carrie of Carrie and Blue. Correct.
Shannon of our number one fan.
Yeah. She asked me today. She's like, how was your weekend? Or do I have to wait to listen to your podcast? I'm like,
You have to wait.
Yeah. No secret.
Sorry, Shannon.
And then it was actually Blue's birthday. So that morning, Chad had gone golfing with Blue, and then Carrie and I met them at Allenmore Golf Course, and we did a lunch with them.
Yep.
And then that evening, both of our girls had friends over, and we did a girls' swim party, barbecue, sleepover.
Yeah.
Chad was in heaven, obviously. No, just kidding. He's so funny. He feels like he's awkward and weird. He feels like he's a weird dad just lingering around. So he gets really anxious
Does he?
when we do this. And I'm like, for me, this is like the best thing ever. Like having friends over and seeing my girls enjoy their friends, you know. And so for him, it's always I have to be like, does this work for you this week? You know, like I can't just spring it on him. But
do your girls, do they think he's cool or do they think he's like annoying and weird?
I think they think he's cool, but they say he's annoying and weird. Like they tease him and like give him a hard time, but I think inside they think he's really cool.
Yeah. Because I've seen videos you posted where I think I saw one in the car where there were like 4 girls in the back seat.
Yes.
And he's like singing along to some song.
Yes.
And they're all laughing. And it's not
that weekend.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not like they're like, oh, dad. It's like they think he's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
We were on our way to 7-Eleven. We took them to get Slurpees and ice cream and stuff that night. So that was that weekend.
Yeah.
And
so they think he's cool. What do they think about you?
I feel like I'm in.
You're in?
I feel like I'm like
you're still cool.
The girls, the middle school girls, we had like a little powwow in the sauna and they asked if I would come with them. Like they asked if I would chat with them.
That's a good feeling.
I was great.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So
you turn around to hide your emotion.
He teases me so much because he's like, you think you're like one of them, and I'm like,
so you're the cool parents.
We're trying. I mean, there's just to me that is like a really big priority is making sure that to be cool.
Yeah,
that's it. I just want to be cool. I just want my tombstone to say she was a cool mom.
She was a cool mom.
But no, the friendship thing, that's like a really big priority for me. Is that my kids have healthy friendships and that we help foster that because they can't drive themselves anywhere. If they want to invite everyone and all their friends all the time, but they're not allowed to do that because they don't own our home. So I really try to be like, I don't know, pursuant of that.
So question on that. Do their friends live nearby or do they kind of live all over the place?
Well, that's the challenge with the private school.
I had the same thing growing up. I never lived close to my friends. I think we had my first house growing up. We were friends with the neighbor kid, but he didn't go to the same school or anything. So I was always jealous of kids who went to like a school where everybody lived nearby and they could, walk home from school together or whatever. But
for sure.
Growing up, my friends were always, a 15 to 20 minute drive.
Yeah. It's kind of like that. Like we're Tacoma. There's some in Gig Harbor.
Yeah.
There's some, there's one of her good friends who's temporarily living out in like Lake Tapps area.
Okay.
So so we're kind of just all around, and then UP Tacoma as well. So, but so that was Saturday, and then Sunday, Chad worked overtime, which like well played. Like we were hosting a sleepover, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta go to work. I can't be here." So we did like breakfast, and then I took the big girls to church. Piper's friend had gone home, so the big girls and we all go to church, and at church. They're like, oh, we didn't finish this or that we wanted to do at your house. And there's still more. So it's like, you know what? We don't have anything going on. You guys come back over.
Yeah.
Plus we picked another one up. Like we added into the fold. So then we went back home, had another session of like hangout friends. And Shannon came with her kids. It was a really nice weekend that weekend. It was like really nice weather. So she came with her kids and they went swimming in the afternoon. And then that was Sunday night. I showed houses to your clients. So we kind of wrapped up early evening, and then I went and showed houses. And then what I realized is my oldest child has a social battery limit. And it was very obvious that Sunday was too long. Yeah. And I was like, I just need, as much as I want to be that friend who's equally fostering and initiating these times, I need to also be the parent who's like, you need to not. You need to be alone and you need to take a nap. Like it was, her attitude was just, she was really cranky. She was very emotional. So it had a little bit of a bummer ending after realizing like, I pushed it by having the continued after church party. Yeah.
So Alice is more like Chad with the limited social battery. Is Piper more like you then with the extrovert nature?
Well, I feel like, yes. Like what I appreciate about Piper is she can go to different functions. And I feel like it's kind of changed. Allie used to be the one who would be with me ready to hang out all the time with people. Pipes would be the one who would come up and be like, I'm ready to go home. Yeah. She still can do that a bit. This last weekend, she's like, I'm ready. I'm done. But she can also go to a place and she can hang out with kids her age. She can hang out with kids older. She can hang out with kids younger. And so she's pretty adaptable.
That's cool.
And I felt like, like not to spoil this last weekend, but even with you guys, I was like, she didn't have anybody her age.
Right.
She still like likes the dog. So she hangs out there. She did okay. I just feel like she's one that is not as bad. Whereas sometimes with Allie, it can get a little sulky.
Yeah.
Like a little bit like, I don't want to be here.
Right.
And why are we having to do this?
Yeah.
You know.
Piper can go with the flow.
Pipes can be a little bit more go with the flow.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was
your weekend?
I think that was my weekend. Let me check my notes. Yeah. That was it.
Cool. I had a chill weekend 2 weekends ago.
Yeah,
we were both sick, and so Friday night we did takeout. You can still hear it. I'm still like it's been like 2.5 weeks, and I'm still got something going on.
Yeah.
So Friday night we got takeout from an Indian restaurant in Renton. That was my new thing of the day, was the Indian place, and we watched a show called Fallout. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of that.
Okay.
What is it on?
It's based on a video game. So there's a video game. It's like a post-apocalyptic kind of style video game where people live in like a bunker under the ground.
Okay.
And they basically made a live action adaptation of that video game. It's great.
Is it?
It's incredible.
Is it a series or is it a movie?
It's a TV show, a series. So I think there were 8 episodes of this season. We binged it that weekend. So Friday night we watched probably 4 episodes, and then Saturday we watched like 4 episodes. So great show. A little bit gory and bloody and kind of weird in different parts, but it's just I really liked it. I'd recommend it. So that was Friday night, pretty much watching that show, eating yummy Indian food.
Okay, what do you get from Indian restaurants?
That's a really great question. We don't. So Brian's eaten a lot more Indian food than I have.
Okay.
He'll go with like his coworkers, and they'll show him the ropes on what to order and stuff. I'm a very boring Indian restaurant orderer. There's like the chicken tikka masala and butter chicken are like my go-to things I would order. This last time we did order, we got one tikka masala and then one other dish that I don't even know. No, we got 3 things actually. We got a lot of food.
Yeah.
And because he said we should try these different things. So I don't even know what it was called.
Okay.
But 2 different curries and 1 rice dish, maybe called the biryani.
Yeah.
Really good though.
Had like raisins in it.
No raisins.
Oh, okay.
It was like rice and there's some like chicken and I don't know. No, there was lamb in it, I think. I don't know. It was all really good.
I love Indian food, but I feel like there's not a ton of great options in Tacoma. So
yeah, I don't know. There's the I actually don't even know if I've had Indian food in Tacoma.
I think there's one on 6th Avenue.
Okay. The one my go-to Indian place in college was called Cedars.
Yeah. It
was right near the University of Washington, and it was great. Like incredible Indian food. So yeah, I haven't had that much Indian food, but every time I have it, it's so sick and good.
It's so yummy.
So that was Friday night, and then Saturday we watched more Fallout. Actually, so Saturday morning I came down to Tacoma. There was a lot of things happening on South Tacoma Way that day, and I just I was still feeling sick, but I'm like, I don't want to miss this stuff.
Yeah.
So we were touring a building, the FA building. Yeah. On that side of the street. That's for sale right now. So it's off market for sale. So we were touring it and just seeing it. It's a really cool building. Yeah. Needs a lot of work. Pretty much the upstairs is completely gutted. Like it needs a full, it might need an elevator. Like it needs a lot. Okay. So I think we're still kind of deciding what to do with that. But really cool building.
Yeah.
And then
if anybody's listening in the market for a commercial building,
seriously, yeah, if we would, that would be our ideal scenario. If we could find an investor who wants to buy it and we can like help them with the construction, like that would be ideal. So did that, and then right after that, there was the grand opening of the Hive. Which have you been in there yet?
I was thinking about going today.
Cool, you should. It's amazing. It's like you watched Schitt's Creek, Rose Apothecary, similar vibe to that. Cool. So just a really cool curated like mixture of different products and stuff. Home goods and facial stuff and
here on South Tacoma Way.
What's
it next to?
Right next to the FUB building. So literally directly to the left, to the right of the Heritage building on the corner, to the right of that. I think it's actually within that building, maybe.
Oh, nice.
Really cool. Michelle Jones, she did a great job on it. Good. So basically to tour the FUB building, did the grand opening there, and then there was a South Tacoma walking tour. So Chris Staudinger with Pretty Gritty Tours. Yeah. He has got kind of viral on TikTok. He has 100,000 followers on TikTok now, which is crazy. He hosted a tour basically walking around the neighborhood, and it was, so I feel like I've done tours like that before, and it was more so within the main commercial strip here, but he walked us into the neighborhoods around here and like pointed out different styles of architecture and talked about this church that was actually moved. It was there's a church kind of past 56th that has a kind of a crazy steeple.
Yeah.
Originally it was on 56th, and apparently within a few years of building it, they picked it up and moved it like a couple blocks down.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I feel like what a fun job.
To
what a fun
pick
job
up a church.
Well, that, but also to just like walk around with people and
Yeah.
tell them like the history of a neighborhood.
He's amazing. Have you met Chris?
No.
He probably knows more about Tacoma than anybody else.
Does he do all different areas?
Yeah,
tours?
so he does tours for different neighborhoods. He does like ghost tours. He does a tour inside Stadium High School.
What?
He does beer walking. It's very cool. And like during
this.
COVID, his whole business pretty much shut down.
Yeah.
So he went online. So he started doing like virtual tours of things, and just doing a lot more social media content. And he's great.
Cool.
So did that.
What's it called?
Pretty Gritty Tours is the name of his group.
Tours.
Yeah,
Okay.
really cool. And then from there went to another. So there was like a haunted farmers market happening.
I did see advertisements about that,
which was cool. It was packed.
Yeah.
There were like it was so basically between Church Cantina and Airport Tavern on that little on 54th, I think, and it was deep. It was there were dozens of booths, and I feel like I've been to some other farmers markets where it's like you can be there for less than 5 minutes and be bored. Like this, there's a lot to see and do, and they're all kind of within that like spooky haunted theme.
So interesting that we chose that theme in March.
Yeah, and that
April.
I think so. I met I haven't met Brianna yet, who puts it on, but I met her husband or boyfriend the other day.
Yeah,
and he said that that's very much her vibe. Like she's very much into that. That kind of stuff. And the people that were there that was their vibe too. Like people were dressed up for it. And
oh my gosh,
it was cool. It was it just brought a lot of people to the street. Yeah. So, and then also happening that day, they were painting like the new logo on the Bluebeard coffee, and it's exciting.
So excited for that.
I was talking to my family about it, and we've been down here on South Conway for the last 5-6 years, and it's just really cool, all the things that are happening kind of at the same time right now.
I love that you guys had the heart and the vision to come down here. I feel like previously, I don't think I had been down here before. Yeah. Like, I don't think before joining Theory and our office coming here, there was anything on South Tacoma Way that I came to, at least in this section, you know? So it's amazing, even in the few years I've been here, that Howdy, Fernseed, all the little things popping up, intentions, all those things. It's crazy.
So within the next couple months, there's going to be, I think, 6 or 7 new businesses opening within like a couple blocks here. So we have Bluebeard Coffee's opening up pretty soon. Yep. Radnor's, our restaurant's opening up soon.
Let's give a little shout out to Radnar.
Oh my gosh. Radnor's. Yeah. The name, we're going to have to do a little education on the name. Radnor's Bagels. So Radnor, the guy who built the building, Edison Square, which was originally the Real Art Theater, his name was Radnor Pratch. So we're really trying to like celebrate the history of the building and the history of Tacoma with this restaurant. So Radnor's, we'll call it Rads for short. So we'll have like rad fries and rad sauce and stuff. So I've had so much of that food in the last couple weeks. I'm like starting to feel it, and it was fun. So on Thursday night, I think on Wednesday, the logo went up on the building for Radnor's, which is a really cute little logo on the outside. And then Thursday we had an event where Lewis made food for the event. Okay. And I was kind of creepily watching people as they were eating the food.
I love it.
And
recording their faces.
no camera, but just watching people take a bite of the burger and then a bite of the beignets. And like, you could see that people were enjoying this food. Yeah. We got a lot of great feedback. So it's fun. It's fun.
Well, and he's brought a few samples to the office for some team lunches. Yes. And it's always phenomenal.
It's such good food. Yeah. And we'll have a very simple menu. We just finalized the menu once and for all last week. Grand opening, we're starting between May 4th and May 17th. So coming up in the next few weeks.
And I love that you were sharing it's going to be like family friendly and open during like the weekdays to come in and even play games and hang out. Exactly. And then, so cool.
Yeah. So it's kind of it'll be open, during the day for just, dine in, bring your families, whatever. Evenings will be events, so we'll have like trivia, we'll have karaoke, all sorts of different events.
So fun.
And then we'll also be open for late night food as well. So there's a lot of bars down here. So after people are done at the bars, they can come grab a burger or a hot dog or whatever. Yep. So it'll be very fun.
I love it.
We have Bluebeard opening, we have Radnor's opening. Sig, I don't know if I'm supposed to share this. There's a brewery opening next to Howdy Bagel on the left side of them. So they'll be opening in the next couple months. We have Airport Tavern is expanding into the location
cool.
next to them.
Okay.
So that'll be a much larger footprint for them.
Yeah.
Hive just opened.
Yep.
We have a Pilates studio opening to the next to our office here where the doggy daycare was.
I did not know this.
And then there's one more business opening that I definitely can't talk about yet, and they'll hopefully be in the just a little bit further down South Way.
That's
so
exciting.
literally like 6 or 7 new businesses in the matter of a few months.
So cool.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, Saturday came down South Way for that, and then went home, watched more Fallout, finished that show.
Love it.
And then we went and got dumplings for dinner.
You guys eat really well.
We do. We're good eaters. Really good eaters. So yeah,
really admire that about you guys.
Supreme Dumplings in Bellevue. It was great. So good. I love dumplings. I just love Asian food. Anything Thai, dumplings, Indian. It's all great. And then Sunday, yesterday Sunday and then the previous Sunday, very similar.
Okay.
Worked out in the morning. Went home and just did a bunch of house stuff. So did laundry, got groceries, cleaned the house. Yesterday I did like a deep cleaning. I went around and reorganized and
feels so great.
Yeah, it was feeling kind of messy and dirty.
Yeah.
So actually, messy is not even a good word. I'm with my OCD. It never really gets messy.
I'd love to see your version of messy versus mine.
It's never really messy, but it gets dirty.
Yeah.
So the bathroom will be dirty, and the floors will need a vacuum, but everything is always in its place for the most part. So
speaking of OCD, really quick,
yes,
I almost sent you a picture yesterday because Alice had set up a little workstation.
Okay.
And she had multiple little notepads, pens, highlighters, but it was all very much lined up and in a certain, and I was just like, that's an interesting little thing.
Yeah.
I just wonder, and she's the oldest, she's a bit of a I don't know, perfectionist. She gets very her self-care time is organizing her room.
Yeah.
Does
she make her bed?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
I know. I was I wanted to snap a picture and be I feel like you would love this work.
Yeah.
And it was just and it was all pastel colors. It all matched really well.
Yeah.
So, okay. She's got a whole aesthetic and a vibe that just I don't know. I'm kind of jealous of. Yeah. Anyways, okay.
I love it. For me, I mean, if we want to just go down the OCD vein for a second, and not saying that Alice has it. For me, I've been diagnosed with OCD, but for me, it's been it's definitely, it can be paralyzing sometimes. If I'm in an environment that's overly messy or chaotic, I get anxiety for sure. Yeah. But I feel like I've been able to figure out how to use it for its good aspects and kind of turn it into a little bit of a superpower.
Yeah.
So I love it about myself. I would not change it about myself. And I feel like it's taken some time to understand how to work with it and how to not, especially with Brian, he's messier than I am for sure. And figuring out how to navigate that in a relationship. And same thing, I've had I feel like I tend to attract people into my life that aren't super organized and orderly.
Case in point.
And even my roommates I've had over the years have not been super clean. So I'm I don't know if we talked about this in the podcast before. When I first started dating Brian, 8 years ago, he was messier than he is today. He's come a long way.
Sure.
I think, and honestly, he's come a long way because, and I think about it sometimes, because he loves me, because he knows that, I think it doesn't necessarily come naturally, but he knows that it matters to me and that I won't feel as anxious if the environment is clean. So sometimes I'll be gone for if I'm gone for a few days, I'll come back home and I'm like, wow, it looks good. It's not perfect. I always end up doing a little bit to fix things, but I can tell. I'm there's no way it looked like this over the 3 days I was gone.
Right.
But he definitely put effort in to clean up before I got home.
Yeah.
So where was I going with that? When we first started dating, his room was a disaster.
Yeah.
A disaster. So bad. Sorry, Brian. It was horrible. And he would be gone and I would clean his room for him. And this was really early. Within the first, 6 months of seeing each other.
Yeah.
And he'd come home and I'd clean his room. And I'm sure he was happy that I cleaned his room, but it must have felt a little weird for him that I was doing that.
So funny. Or he was like, something about this guy.
Yeah. But I literally couldn't resist. If I'm gonna be in an environment, I will go crazy if I can't creates some order from the chaos. So yeah.
I think that's hilarious. I feel like neither Chad or I are very like, I don't feel like we're either way. Like we're not extreme messy, but we're also not like extreme cleaners, but we love when the house is clean.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a time where we had gotten, this is when we like back in the day when we were living in Santa Barbara. So like early dating days, and we'd kind of gotten into a fight, and it was a little bit like not sure what our status is going to be after this. But before he left, he like cleaned the dishes and like left it clean, left the little space that I was in like clean. And I remember thinking, you're mad at me, but you did clean before. Like there was like it almost left me this like little bit of like hope, like, you cared enough to like tidy up before you went. So I feel like we're not totally done. But that is like, to me, that is a gift. If I come home and he is cleaned, he is, you know, done something to like help chore wise, that is like, I feel so loved by that.
We got home yesterday from activities, and I walked in and I was like, I could feel myself getting a little bit anxious. Like it's been a great weekend. It's been awesome. But I walked in, I'm like, there's a lot of stuff going on in this house right now that needs to be done. So I spent probably 4 hours or 5 hours yesterday, like cleaning the bathroom, sorting all of our laundry, doing a few loads of laundry. I cleaned up, I organized Brian's office for him. I like deep cleaned our kitchen. I vacuumed. I like reorganized it. It was a whole day, and I felt so much better afterwards. I was just like,
do you feel like there is, because I saw a thing about, it was geared towards women, but it was like, if you see her cleaning, it's not necessarily, it was like basically like her mind needs it. It's not so much that it was like the house is disgusting, but it's like there's a lot going on internally. Do you feel like that? Like, do you feel like, okay, I'm overwhelmed, but there's also a lot going on in your brain, and so deep cleaning does like both? Like it cleans your physical space, but it also helps you decompress mentally.
Maybe, I don't know if I would say there's a lot going on in my brain, but it does help me decompress.
I could see that for Allie. I could see that she gets a little bit whatever, and like her way of kind of relaxing is like organizing her room.
Right. Yeah, I definitely can't relax unless my environment is clean. Like I can't. I'm never one to like get home and like I unpack immediately when I get back from vacation. Like even when we're moving, like it's impressive how quickly we unpack all of our stuff when we move. Just because
do you like to clean before you leave for a trip?
Yes,
I like to do that too.
Yeah, for sure. I love coming home to a very clean house, and cleaning's great.
We've gone on such a clean tangent.
So Sunday did a bunch of that. The previous Sunday did a bunch of that, and then we went to a birthday party that night too for one of Brian's friends or one of our friends. Trying to break that habit of saying Brian friends and my friends, our friends. And just a great weekend. How was this last weekend for you?
Okay, that was great. This last weekend was good. Even though Thursday is not technically the weekend, we did have a fun Thursday night. We went to trivia. Okay. So speaking of trivia, there's if you're gonna have it at Rad's restaurant, there is Grit City Trivia.
Yep.
And I think she goes to multiple venues, but we have gone twice now to Locust Cider on 6th Ave.
Yeah.
And it's every third Thursday. And our team, it was the topic was, are you smarter than a fifth grader?
Okay.
We actually tied for third place. And then for the tiebreaker, we played Rochambeau, rock, paper, scissors. I won.
What is Rochambeau?
It's the same. It's rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
What does Rochambeau mean? No. I'm assuming rock, paper, scissors.
Was that the original name of rock, paper, scissors? Okay, interesting.
I just said that confidently. I don't actually know. So that was pretty fun. We have placed like in the top 3 a few times.
I'm sorry, did you say you won?
I won the rock,
Okay,
paper,
I was
scissors.
distracted by the Rochambeau.
You're like,
sorry.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, bless her heart. She only did rock. And I like caught on to the pattern.
Wow.
I was like, 2 rounds, you're done. Get out. Try harder. No, it was pretty funny.
Just row.
I love it. So that was Thursday. Friday, I did your inspection.
Thank you for that.
Okay, so this couple, can we talk about them
yes,
for a second? Are we allowed to talk about them?
Maybe not names.
They're just precious.
Yeah.
They're engaged and they're so sweet to each other. And turns out we know the family. Like I knew his parents.
I feel like I should have told you that ahead of time. But yeah, so basically they're engaged. So the guy in a relationship. They're engaged. Yeah, they're engaged.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
getting married.
Oh, they're getting married very soon.
So his mom is a teacher that I had growing up
Yeah.
that just so happened to be one of Alice's teachers
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
And then so you did the inspection for them.
Yes, and I observed them together, and not knowing I knew his parents, I messaged you and was like, "Who raised this boy?"
Yeah,
Because he is so kind, and I just want. To me, I'm so fascinated by, like, I had this whole conversation with Chad last night about our job as parents is to raise good, contributing citizens.
Yeah.
And so when I see that, it is like, okay, what did you do?
Right.
How did your parents teach you to open the door for your fiance, to
Yeah.
stand on the street and make sure she got out onto the road
Yeah.
safely before he left?
Yeah.
To like, he just was like, just felt like such a gentleman. And I just feel like that is rare. Like,
Yeah.
Alice is telling me about these kids in middle school, how they talk back and have such bad attitudes
Yeah.
to authority. And I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Why are we doing that? I get it. It's middle school. And I'm like, maybe that's just the MO
Yeah.
for middle school boys. But it just feels like we could be losing a generation of like well-behaved children.
It was just so funny because you texted me, "Who raised this boy?" I'm like, "You actually know her. That was your daughter's teacher."
I love it. So that was Friday. Ended up going by pretty quickly. Super cute house. I'm like so excited for them. And then from there, I came home and I got home, and it was one of those moments. It's like, again, another warm afternoon.
Yeah.
Chad was swimming with the girls in the pool. He grilled some steaks. It was just a really nice evening to kind of wrap up the week. And it was just our family that night. We watched that movie Migration. It's a really cute animated one.
Nice. Similar vibe to like Ice Age, right? Or no?
I kind of.
I've seen like
it's
picture
like
of it.
It's like a family of ducks that migrate from like one area to another.
Okay.
So it's current. It's not like set back in like,
gotcha.
But it's really cute.
It's Ice Age in that it's animated.
In that it's not real people. There's animals.
There are animals. There we go.
And then Saturday, I do feel like this weekend, we didn't have a ton of social plans, but I felt like we were really productive. Like nice. Saturday morning, Chad and I woke up and we worked out together. I'm trying to get a little bit better at lifting some lbs.
Wow.
Austin?
Are you lifting the same as Chad?
Obviously. I'm actually, he's borrowing weights from me. No. I just feel like as I'm getting older, that's the thing everybody's talking about. Like women need to be strength training.
Yeah.
Apparently, walking's not good enough. So I'm trying.
So, were you working out with him? Are you doing the same workouts?
So he kind of gave me circuits, and he's like, "I'm going to do a little bit more of a HIIT workout, but I'm going to give you strength training."
Gotcha.
And so we did that.
How does that work with him being your personal trainer?
Well, usually I'm against it.
Yeah.
But right now I'm in a season where I'm like, I want to be focused on my health.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to be conscious of what I'm consuming and how hydrated I am and just being mindful of taking care of myself.
Yeah.
And so because I have that mind frame, I'm okay with it.
Right.
In the past, if I'm like, this is not a priority and he tries to personal train me, I try to personally ignore him.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was good. And this is the thing. He's actually so knowledgeable and he's so encouraging. So I need to just like take advantage of this resource.
Yeah.
But I'm a little bit prideful at times.
Brian and I prefer very different workouts.
Right.
We might have talked about this before, but we'll work out together every once in a while and we'll start the workout together and we'll like be doing chest and arms together. And I just don't want to do what he does.
Do you talk about it? Are you like, okay, let's do this?
I'm like, let's do this today. Well, it's more so like he has a pretty set workout plan that he's doing. For the most part, 80% of the time I'm doing classes. I'm doing a HIIT class or like a CrossFit style class or a spin class or whatever. So on days when I'm not doing those, like when the schedule doesn't align with my schedule, I'll just go work out on my own, do my own stuff. Okay. And if we're doing that together, we'll always start together. And then so quickly, I'm just like, I don't want to do what you're doing. Like he does so many rounds of things and it's just so repetitive. And I'm just like,
I can tell by his arms.
Yeah,
he does.
He does good work.
It was just a really good way to start our morning. And then he actually had a chiropractic appointment and while he was gone, I walked Stella.
Okay.
And then I saunaed after that. So it was like workout, walk, sauna.
Yeah.
And then we cleaned our house.
Love it.
It was like by 11 a.m. It felt like we had been so productive.
Yeah.
Then we had a little family snafu. We were going to take everybody down to Ruston and ride the bikes, those like 4 those bench seat bikes. People were not in agreement. And Allie was a little bit overwhelmed because she was going to a sleepover that afternoon and she wasn't fully prepared yet, hadn't finished packing, this and that. And she felt like we were like rushing her. So there was like just a little bit of drama in the car. And Chad was like, you know what? We're not going to do this. We're not going to go do a fun activity when people are not excited about it. So he turned the car around. I was like, okay, sir. I was actually really impressed that he made that decision because I like our family time together is sacred. And if people's hearts aren't in the right place, I just feel like it probably would have been a waste of our time, money, energy, all that.
Yeah.
So we ended up going back and then we let Allie finish her packing and all that stuff. And then we took Piper to the Nature Center, which is on 19th and Center. I had not been there in a while. And what was fun is they have just cool little playground things to climb on, but there's also a trail around a lake.
Oh,
and they have this.
Where's this at?
It's on 19th and Center.
Okay.
And they had this thing that was like, hey, families, do this challenge with your kids while you're on the trail. And it's an app you download. And then as you're walking, these little things pop up on your phone and they give you like, look for this type of tree and then pick up this pretend trash. It's just like little challenges. And for me, I was like, this is genius because never in my lifetime as a parent has my child been excited to go on a walk with me.
Yeah.
It's just not a thing.
That's
so
cool.
to have like a digital challenge that she could do, but it was also getting us out in nature and learning new things about that park.
I don't think I knew about this place.
Yeah.
It's really right by Cheney Stadium.
Yep.
Nice.
Exactly.
Cool.
So, anyway, so that was fun. And then we got back home and we took Alice over to her sleepover. And then we came and met with you guys up in Auburn. Great dog park. And then, what was it called? Rail and Hop?
It was Hop and Rail? Hop and Rail.
Like that. But it was a brewery that was dog friendly.
Rail hopping.
Kid friendly. Rail hopping.
I think it was rail hopping. Like
is
you're
it
hopping
a plant,
over the
like
rail. Because it's right next to the train.
It is.
Yeah. It's rail hopping.
Yep. So we met up with you guys. That was great. I felt like by the time we got home, we were kind of like, I feel like we'd done so much today.
Yeah.
I literally crawled in bed at one point at 6:30 to read my book. And then I was like, do I get out? Is this it for me? Do I come out? So no, I still got out and did stuff. But I could have like bedtime for me was like super early.
Yeah. So what time did you wake up on Saturday to be able to do all of this?
Probably around 6.
Okay. Is that normal? Is that a normal wake up time?
Like Chad wakes up between 5 and 5:30.
Even on weekends?
No, weekdays.
Yeah.
But because that's his normal, on weekends it's usually that time as well.
Really?
Like we'll try to sleep in a little bit, but like I couldn't tell you last time I slept past like 7.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm kind of jealous of that. So I could sleep forever.
I'm kind of jealous of that.
Monday through Friday, I try to wake up at 5 every day.
Yeah.
And then weekends, I'll set my alarm for 7 or 7:30.
Okay.
I'll set my alarm for whatever 8 hours is after I go to bed.
Okay.
So if I go to bed at 11, I'm waking up at 7.
Yeah.
But I can keep sleeping.
Does Stevie not come and wake you guys?
She'll wake Brian up,
Oh, that's
but she doesn't
funny.
wake me up. Yeah.
I love that.
I think it's because of how our bed is situated. I think it's easier for her to get to Brian's side.
Okay.
But yeah, so she'll wake Brian up. I slept until I think 8 on Saturday and then maybe 7:30 on Sunday.
Okay.
But I could have 100% kept sleeping.
Yeah.
Both days.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. There's part of me that's like, when I wake up and I feel ready, I'm like, okay, I'm going to start the day. But then where I always kick myself is about 6 p.m. at night when I'm like, I could go to sleep right now, you know?
But I feel when I wake up earlier, I definitely feel productive. But
totally
weekends, I just I don't know. That's my chance to sleep in a little bit.
I know it should be. So Saturday, remember when we were out and we were talking about burgers?
Yes.
Like, sounds really good. On the way home, we were like, oh, where could we go? And Pikey was like, I just want to go home. So we ended up making our own burgers at home.
Nice.
Which was really actually quite yummy. We added in like ranch seasoning and some Havarti dill cheese into the like meat.
That's awesome.
And grilled it like that.
That sounds great.
So that was Saturday. Trying to think of anything else. I think Saturday evening, I actually did like read. I was starting to read a new book, and Pipes and Chad were like sauna and swim together. And then Sunday we took Stella and Pipes on a little walk around the neighborhood, and then went to church. Got Allie took lunch over to my parents' house. My dad had hip surgery, which I was telling you about. So we went and hung out with them for a bit on Sunday afternoon. We were doing a little yard work, and I don't know if you saw my Instagram post, but a new ick was unlocked.
I saw icks for both of you.
Yeah. I didn't. Yeah. So for him, I was like, this is so sweet. He's out here mowing my dad's yard, you know, and then I looked down and he had tucked his pants into his socks, and then he was wearing my dad's work shoes.
Yeah. What was the reason for tucking the pants in?
Great question, Austin.
Were the pants long? Like, were they hitting the ground? Was it so they didn't get dirty?
There was probably something like that.
There's got to be some logic.
There's got to be.
Chatterskin doesn't do things that are logical, so there's got to be something.
In his brain, it made sense. And then I was like, well, let me be helpful, and I'll get the blower and I'll blow the like grass and the debris that you've been cutting. And it also equally wasn't cute. Like I had this giant machine, and I was wearing the like strap around my chest, and I didn't know what I was doing. So we both were like, all right, A for effort, but don't do it again. And then, so that was Sunday kind of afternoon. Then we went back to our house, and really the rest of the day, he was doing some yard work at our house. I was like out on the deck reading my book. We really were just kind of like winding down. The girls were doing stuff. So that was it in sauna in the evening.
Another sauna. Are you at risk of sitting in the sauna too much? Is there a maximum?
Something.
Is there like a maximum that you should be aware of?
I don't know. I don't want to know, to be honest.
Because you're doing 20 to 30 minute sessions, or how long?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a long time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. It is hard. Like there's times where it's like I'll get in there and I'll be like, it has to have been at least 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it would be 4.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way. Or like, and sometimes it's weird. Saturday mornings when I'm there with Carrie and Shannon, I usually can withstand a little bit longer.
Right.
Evenings with Chad, I'm like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
But it's like one of those things where afterwards it's so relaxing.
Totally. Yeah.
And I always feel good. So I don't know.
I usually sit in the sauna after I worked out. So my body temperature is already pretty high from working out. So I last 10 minutes like max post workout.
They do say that is ideal though.
Is it?
You work out first and then you go and you sauna after. And if you do if you're going to the gym every day, the ideal from what Chad said is 60 minutes within the week at 180 degrees.
Okay.
If it's a like dry sauna. If it's a infrared sauna, it's a little bit lower.
Okay.
But if you over the week you get 60 minutes, that's supposed to be like incredibly good for your like longevity and your cardiovascular and all that stuff.
I'm probably a little bit less than that, but I bet I'm around 40. Yeah. I could work up to 60. Yesterday I did a tough workout. It was like just really hard. Started with a mile run and then like all these things and then ended with a half-mile run. So I was dying, and I sat in the sauna afterwards, and I was just like, I felt so overheated that I like almost passed out.
Yeah. And
I went and I took a cold shower, and that was the first time in maybe my life where I'm like, I'm just gonna keep it cold the whole time because my body was just like so warm.
Yeah.
And I took like probably a 5-minute just like as cold as it could go shower, and I never felt cold. It just felt like it was kind of regulating my body temperature.
I feel like you posted some pictures of your watch after a crazy workout.
Yeah, that one was.
You burned like, I want to say it was like 900 calories.
Yesterday was over 1,000 calories. Yeah,
Austin.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
That is insane.
Yeah.
I'm like excited if I burn 100 in my like 30-minute.
Men do naturally burn more calories than women do, which is unfair. Like I've done Orange Theory classes, and you'll look at the men names and the women names, and there's just a pretty stark difference between the two. So definitely unfair.
Yeah. But, okay.
So
that was my weekend. How about you?
Friday I had a closing, which was exciting.
Yay.
So I met them in the afternoon, gave them their keys and their closing basket and everything.
Where did they buy?
They bought in Beacon Hill area of Seattle. So really cute little townhome. And then went from there to Fremont in North Seattle and had dinner at Revel. It's like a Korean fusion kind of restaurant. So I've been eating a lot of Asian food lately.
I can tell.
Really solid food.
Yeah.
Right in downtown, not downtown, but the main Fremont area.
Yeah.
And then I was with my friends Chad and Brandon. Hadn't seen them in a while.
Okay.
So, and then went from there, got happy hour at this really cool place I'd never been to. And it was like, it's right on the river in Fremont. Like I don't know if it's a river, but it's like connects, I don't know. It's a body of water that connects two other bodies of water, I think. I should know what it is. Anyway, it was a really cool little words are not coming easily to me right now. Little like a distillery on bottom and then like a kind of bar area on top where it was kind of open outdoor seating sort of thing.
Yeah.
And there was live music and it was just a great Friday
like one
night.
of our combinations that we love.
Yes, it was perfect. It was like weather was great. Listening to live music. We ran into some friends from college while we were there and just
didn't know you were gonna see them.
Didn't know we were gonna see them. Nope. So it was great. Just hung out and then went home and watched Amazing Race on the couch with Brian, and great Friday night.
How's that? This is a new season?
New season, yeah.
Yeah, you're not on it.
Not on it. I know. We're gonna keep.
We're still waiting.
Still waiting. So that was Friday, and then Saturday woke up, did a bike ride in the morning. Nice. There's a loop that basically goes from our house in Renton, and then if I go north to I-90, and then I cross I-90 on the bike, and then I go south through like Columbia City, and then back around to Renton. So it's kind of like a full loop around the southern half of Lake Washington. I've done it a few times, and I'm basically like timing myself each time and trying to get a little bit faster each time. So
what's the mileage on that?
Like 26 miles. So it took me a little under 2 hours. But I did it. It was 8 minutes faster than the previous time I did it.
Well done.
Yeah, shaving off a little time each time I do it. So the Seattle to Portland bike ride's like getting closer, and I have done way less training than I should have at this point. So I need to start picking it up a little bit.
When is it again?
July. It's like mid-July.
Okay.
Yeah. So I might do a bike ride today actually, because we'll be gone to Japan, and I won't be able to do any bike rides there. So man,
listen,
I procrastinated this training.
You're gonna do great.
It's gonna be great.
You're healthy. Yeah. You've done other things, like physical challenges
that I've been unprepared for.
You've ridden a bike before.
Ridden a bike.
You know.
So did the bike ride and then met up with you guys. We went to the dog park, the brewery. It was awesome. Notice Stella has filled out. It's funny, every time we see Stevie and Stella next to each other, they're like different sizes. And this is the first time that Stella's looked a little bit bigger than Stevie. Yeah. Which is crazy.
I just gotta tell you, Chad had a little bit of a complex after that. He like kept what's funny is he went and he was like kind of pulling like at her waist and was like, man, it should go in right here, Stella. And she like growled at him. And I was like, this is how all the women in your life feel. Don't judge. Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
But it was funny. He like literally was like holding her and she was like, but yeah, he's like, can you just give her like one cup of food? I'm like, she's fine. She's healthy.
She looks great.
She looks good.
Healthy. Yeah, absolutely. So we don't need.
It's funny though, they have because Stevie was a bit bigger.
Always bigger.
Yeah. And then now Stella's. Yeah.
I don't want to. Hopefully, they don't listen to this podcast. I don't want them to get weird complexes about their weight.
I know.
So, brewery dog park was great, and then we went to the Rock Pizza for dinner, which was
that's a chain. Right?
It's a chain. Yes. We got horrible service. It was so bad, but the food is great, so it all balanced out.
Yeah.
It was like we were an inconvenience that we were there. It was very weird. Yeah. Like okay. And then Sunday, like I said, I kind of already recapped my Sunday, but intense workout in the morning, lots of house stuff yesterday. And then we visited Brian's grandpa in the hospital.
Okay.
Probably don't want to share too much about that, but the thing that was amazing to me is that he's 96 years old. Mm-hmm. He is in a hospital bed and he's still making jokes. He's still like cracking jokes and is joyful and is just, engaged with everybody in the room and in conversation. So it's amazing.
That is amazing.
96. The longevity in his family is crazy. Yeah. All four of his grandparents made it to their 90s and
sauna.
Yeah, probably a lot of sauna time. So it was nice to see him. We all of his mom's sisters were there, so we had to see all the aunts and his grandma and stuff too. So yeah.
Oh, good.
So that was the weekend. It was great. Honestly, the last couple weekends have been great variety, balance of social time, working out, house stuff, just chilling.
I did feel like this weekend I really enjoyed the like feeling productive part of it, because there's been some weekends where it's like almost out of necessity, like we're cleaning our house because we're hosting somebody or something, but to just kind of like we're doing it just for our own enjoyment.
Yep.
And then I feel like that was kind of the theme, like, and then I sat and I read my book for my own self. Like I just like, I don't know, I feel like I was able to just kind of do a little bit of like just downtime, which was really refreshing.
Yeah.
I wanted to update you about something.
Okay.
Do you remember that video that I told you about on Instagram? And
yes.
People were like, whatever.
The one about the
Piper and
what was it? A fruit? It was
her trying to open a pineapple.
Pineapple. Yeah.
Well, it's still going strong. And so much so that Instagram was like, you could be verified. They wanted to give me the blue dot.
Because of this video is
Because
going
this
so
video
viral?
has gotten over 500. It's gotten 1.4 million views.
And you still have comments off, right?
I have the comments off.
Okay.
It is so funny to me. I was dying. Have you been verified?
No, I have the option to pay for it. Was
Right.
that?
Oh wait, is that what that is?
Yeah, you can pay for it. So you can either.
Okay, I was like, Instagram. They think I'm famous because I
Did it? Was it gonna have you pay for it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What is that? That's.
I don't want to burst your bubble here. I really don't. Really don't. Any.
Like, oh my gosh, I don't even have 1,000 followers and they think I'm famous.
That's hilarious. No, anybody can do that. I'm pretty sure. I mean,
okay,
I think
the way they approached it, they were like, your reel has gotten over 500,000 views.
Wow.
You can be Instagram verified for
Yeah.
$15 a month.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought that was.
I don't know for sure if any account can do that, but I know that that's something they rolled out this last year is you can pay to verify your account. Because prior to that, Instagram had their own verification system, and they would basically, if it was a celebrity account or whatever, they would say that it was a verified account somehow. But now you can pay for it. Yeah.
That is hysterical.
Yeah.
That you're like, no, it's for everybody.
Well, it's funny because I have seen accounts that have like, 100 followers that are verified. So it's, I think, I don't think there's a parameter there, but congratulations.
It's so great.
Big deal. Big day. Milestone.
It's so funny to me.
That is crazy though. 1.4 million views?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Unbelievable. It's so weird.
How many likes does it have?
Let me tell you.
That is a crazy number.
I'm so laughing at that. I was like, Austin, guess what? I'm famous. You're like, no, you're not. Anybody can be.
We could just cut this part out where we said you have to pay for
1.6 million views.
That's crazy.
37,000 likes.
Holy cow.
50,000 sent.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's wild. Piper's famous.
Piper thinks it's going to her head. It's going to her head, actually, as is it is mine.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
What's funny is the verified thing was like, for $15 a month, people will know it's the real you and you'll have extra security. And I was like, that doesn't sound like a thing.
It's just a money grab for Instagram. Grab. Yeah. I mean, they're probably making millions of dollars a month from this now. I don't even know. Like $15. Let's say that they have, I mean, there's hundreds of millions of people on Instagram. So let's say 1 million people do it. Right. That's $15 million a month that they're now getting. And that's probably on the low end.
We should try to verify people.
Yeah.
And just make that like.
I swear, anything where it's like a subscription based business can be so lucrative.
Oh, yeah.
Amazon makes billions of dollars a year just from Amazon Prime. Not from selling any product, just from having that service. Yeah. Same thing, Costco makes I think over $1 billion a year from their memberships, like any subscription things.
I've heard some like local chain, like Walmart and other places may switch to membership based because of so much theft.
Oh,
they're going to have it required. And I wonder if we'll start to see that with like Target and other like main stores.
Interesting.
Because that has become so common that people steal and they can't chase them. There's like nothing cops can do.
Yeah.
So they're going to install like a membership requirement.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know how soon, but okay. So your challenge, trying new things every day.
Let's go through the most recent ones real quick. So we're on day, what's today? Today's the 22nd. Someone new every day. I think last time I recapped on up until like I don't know. Let me just do the last 10 days. Okay. So the 12th, I did the curry place, the Indian place talked about called Naan and Curry. 13th, I did the South Conway stuff. So the commercial building walkthrough and then the Hive grand opening. The 14th, we went to, I didn't even talk about this. I went to a dog park with Stevie called Edith Moulton Park, which is in like Kirkland area.
Okay.
The next day, I went to Newcastle Beach Park, which is kind of near us. It's
I was going to say, I feel like I know Newcastle.
It's a cool, Newcastle is basically between Renton and Bellevue. Okay. So there's a little park on the water that I went to at CV. Good. 16th, house tours. So I'm going to count that. Went to a few new houses. New houses,
never in.
17th, I went to Fulcrum Coffee. That was for a buyer consultation. It's in like the Belltown neighborhood of Seattle. 18th, I went to a place called Pasteles Fines de Angel. Mm-hmm. It's a bakery, like a vegan bakery just down the street from here.
Oh, interesting.
So I know Aline really likes because they have a lot of vegan stuff.
Do you remember what you had?
I had a couple donuts.
Nice. Vegan donuts.
They were actually they had some vegan stuff and some stuff that wasn't vegan.
Okay.
So, and then the 19th, I went to a brewery, and then I went to the Korean restaurant, so Aslan Brewing, and then Revel, and then the 20th, I went to Rail Hop and Brewing Co. with you.
Aslan, is that what you said?
Aslan Brewing, yeah.
Is there another one up in like Bellingham area?
There might be.
I feel like I've
might
been
be a
to
chain.
one. Yeah.
And then 20th was the brewery with you guys in Auburn. Yep. 21st was we got bagels at this place yesterday. So I told you this yesterday or earlier. So Brian's been holding me accountable to my challenge, which I love. So
like, he also gets to experience new things. That's
yes, a lot of these he's done with me.
Yeah.
So we were wanting bagels, and we were going to go to this other bagel place in Bellevue called Blazin' Bagels, I think. And I've never been to Blazin' Bagels in Bellevue. Never been.
Oof, that's a mouthful.
Never been.
Say that 3 times fast.
But I have been to Blazin' Bagels in the U District, and Brian said, no, that doesn't count. You've already been to another Blazin' Bagel, so you got to go somewhere else. So we found another place called Big Apple Bagels, also in Bellevue. And
I'm also a little bit jealous of your bagel options up in your area because there's not too many around here in Tacoma.
This one isn't. I really, I'm not even going to give my feedback on it. Let's just leave it at that.
We can
you can
that.
discern. Yeah, that's where we're at. So today's the 22nd. I don't know what I'm doing today. So basically I have the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, the next 3 days.
Yeah.
I need to figure out. Okay. And then after that, on Thursday, I leave for Japan. So
exciting.
Thursday onward, it'll be very easy to go to new places because everything will be new. But the next 3 days, I need to figure out. So.
How are we feeling about Japan?
Very excited.
The next time we talk, it'll be after that.
It will, yeah.
Yeah, unless you wanted to try to Zoom
from
16-hour time difference.
It's crazy. Yeah, we're looking at the time difference. 16 hours is absolutely bonkers.
That's so much time.
I'm excited.
What are you the most excited for? Do you have something in mind?
Probably so I've talked about this, but Brian and I have never really done a big like international trip like this together. Yeah. Like we've done Mexico and Canada with family. Right. So we've always been with big groups of people. Yeah. We've never really done a big trip, just the two of us. Okay. So that's what I'm most excited for, just to be together. The main priorities for the trip are walk around and explore a bunch and eat a bunch of food. Like those are kind of the two main things. And so that's what I'm most excited for.
My priorities of life.
Yes.
Just like walk around and eat.
Yeah. Hopefully, hitting my steps every day won't be a challenge there. Yeah. A lot of good food. I've talked about it, but Golden Weeks will be very busy while we're there.
Yep. Yeah, but you're going to embrace it.
Embrace the busyness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear all the things.
I know. Next time we chat will be post Japan.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's do it. Okay.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks, Austin. That was great.
Happy Monday.
Okay, bye.